And he really created the space to be his own sanctuary, to come here in the weekends and just have it as a second house. But at the same time, this also acts as a showroom for everything that he is capable, and that's why it's so incredible. Hi guys, welcome to Interior Insights. I'm Jane, and we are standing in the south of Germany, really close to the borders of both Switzerland and France. And today we are going to look at a former hay shed that has been transformed into this incredible house that is full of designer furniture, and it's absolutely insane. If you don't know who I am, my name is Jane and I'm an interior designer. And if you like this video, make sure to subscribe. Now let's go inside and have a look at this place. This place is an absolute example of how you can transform historic old places and turn them into a modern one, all while sustaining and keeping the original features alive. And that's what I am absolutely obsessed with. Just outside the house, you can already see how incredible it is, because on both sides of the house, we actually have the old historic doors that are still original. And they are the original doors of when this place was still used as a hay shack. So that's very cool. Also, make sure to follow us on Instagram, where we post a lot of behind the scenes content and more interior design stories you won't find anywhere else. But of course today we have our own glass frame doors that just create a very light and airy and almost loft-like atmosphere. So let's go inside and check out the space. Now, as soon as we enter, we come into a kind of foyer. And you can see that this space is actually visually separated from the living room that we will enter. To both sides, we have two more rooms that have different functions, and I will show you later. And over here is where we enter the proper living area. Now, the owner has a lovely, gigantic dog who also sometimes comes here. His name's Sheriff. And so he decided to really just separate these two areas so that whenever the dog has dirty paws, you can keep him at the back, so that the entry room is clad in tiles. As soon as you enter the space, you just feel the atmosphere shift, because in the outside we have nothing but raw nature and green, lush trees. And here in the inside we have a very highly modernized house, and so you almost forget that you are in the midst of nature. And to the owner and designer, it was very important to keep this connection with the outside alive and present throughout the design. And to remind you that you are still, in fact, in a former hay shack. And for this reason, he decided to just create these gigantic panoramic windows that just let the outside flood in, and you just have this visual connection. And so as soon as you enter the house, you just look all the way through into the view, and you were just magically drawn in. So we have this very angular room that then just expands into both sides to create an even grander impression. And one of my favorite design pieces inside this apartment is this absolutely gorgeous olive metal staircase. And you can see that it is actually floating. And this was quite difficult to achieve, because you basically have to double the size of the original wall just to provide the structure for bearing the load that the staircase has to keep. Also, if you're interested, I've created a free guide with 5 things that every home should have. It's completely free, and you can go check out the link in the description or just get it by scanning this QR code. And at the bottom of the stairs, we even have some oak wooden steps to be able to sit in it and to create this kind of natural seating area. Right in the center of the apartment, we have the dining room area. And the gorgeous dining room table is surrounded by different designer icons that the designer has collected throughout the years. We have chairs by Vitra, a new one by Crystalia, and also by Hay. And they're all kept in these muddy green and brown tones, and they just create this variety and depth in design without being overwhelming and introducing too many different colors. Paired right next to the dining table, we have the gorgeous kitchen. And like I already mentioned, This house was intended to really be a showroom of all of the different design possibilities. And so the kitchen is in an entirely different style. We have this more French, rustic, farmside kitchen. And I believe that this is actually my favorite kitchen design. So we have this high kitchen island made from really old wood. And it kind of creates the symmetry and balance of the two tables. And I always love a high kitchen island because it just creates so many more opportunities for using it. You can stand, you can cut something, but you can also sit on your higher bar chair, and it just creates this very cool and effortless design. And over here we have the actual kitchen with an integrated stove. And again, you are just transported right to the countryside of France with all of these wooden panels, and you just have a very high quality design. And the stone that has been used also isn't some expensive marble, but instead it's much better. It's actually a stone that comes from the region of the south of Germany, so it's very regional, and it just adds this authentic touch to the design. And I just love the attention to detail. For example, this sink is also entirely created from the same stone. In German it's called Jura. I'm not sure what it's called. If you know the name of the stone, comment it down below. And you can see just the attention and love to detail. Another genius aspect of this kitchen is the fact that we have this almost like floating wall. And so to the side, we actually have an open pantry hiding where you can store all of your things. And this is just a great solution to just keep your kitchen tidy and neat at all times, because you don't have to store all of your dry ingredients. And on the other side, we have another small extra kitchen with an additional sink, so whenever you're entertaining in this house, you can just quickly put away all of the messy plates and everything, and it's impeccably clean again. Another very modern approach in design is creating these kinds of box situations inside and within a house. And this is exactly what the designer did here, is that he created this gray olive greenish box that hides a multitude of functions. We have all of the different amenities that you would need in a kitchen, such as multiple fridges, an oven, and much more. And he even created this natural niche inside this box just to showcase his love for coffee. So here we have an incredible, gigantic coffee machine from stainless steel that just acts as this little wow moment that just makes the space behind me pop. And I absolutely love it because I'm a big coffee drinker myself. And on this side we have a lot of hidden storage functions hidden behind this gorgeous wall. And over here we have the powder room, and this is just again another possibility to just create this very seamless design. Also inside here the bathroom is hiding, that I will show you in a second. It's absolutely gorgeous, and yet in a different style. Up here, of course, we have a second floor, but it's still currently being renovated. So if you're interested to see what it looks like later, when it's ready, comment below and we will come again once the space is completely finished. Now, on the left side of the open living space, we have the proper living room situation. And here the designer has decided to create a natural niche for the sofa. And so the sofa being tucked into the corner just creates an even more comfortable, secluded space that visually separates it from the rest of the open living room. After, I will show you what is hiding actually in both of these corners, because no space is being left unused here. We have a gorgeous Persian carpet that's very vintage, and here the color palette is again very muted, like in the rest of the house, but we have this strong focal point and the strong accent color. And that is that we have the swan chair created and designed by Arne Jacobsen. He's one of my favorite designers because he just creates these absolutely iconic pieces that look like they are just created with one stroke. And I really love his design. And of course, I also love the color orange. So this is just a real great pinch of some excitement in this otherly very nuanced and calm apartment. And of course, to honor the incredible view, here again we have the egg chair, again by Arne Jacobsen, a favorite of mine, where you can just sit down, put up your legs and just enjoy this gorgeous view. I can see the German Alps, I can see the green, I can see my garden. It's absolutely incredible. And also I love that here the original wooden beams of the hay shack have been preserved and that we still have them and they've been integrated into the design. And I love that we are able to just touch and see the original structure of the building and that it wasn't demolished. Because this just really underlines the story of the architecture and just shows us exactly where we are, and it just feels much more authentic this way. Now, let me show you the first bedroom. So the first bedroom is over here. And what is unique about it is that we have this very rough and raw plaster on the wall. And the door was actually painted in the same way. So we have this seamless modern transition and you can only see the shape of the door. And I love this minimal approach to design. And when we go in, let me show you. The designer of this house has been deeply inspired by the color palette of Le Corbusier. And this is what he painted almost all of the rooms in different colors from his color palette. As soon as you enter this room, you are just transported in a super calm and relaxed atmosphere, and it feels very grounding. And also the entire house has a very modern and high quality sound system, so all of these sounds are really absorbed by the walls. So we even have wooden acoustic panels on every single ceiling, so you just have this very immersive and calm acoustics inside this house, and I love it. We have the dominant dark blue indigo walls that have been covered with all of these gorgeous moldings that just create a repetition and again cite the French kitchen. And then we just have a lot of different shades of gray and white fabrics that just make the space feel incredibly comfy and homey. We have these natural open corridors and you can come inside here from both sides, so you have a completely symmetrical floor layout. And over here we have our walk-in closet, and it's absolutely gorgeous because we don't have too much excess space, but the space is used in a way that makes it feel very expansive and vast. And now I can also show you where the space went that was used to create the natural niche in the living room. And here, behind the two mirrors, we actually have even more storage space hiding. And this is also just a genius solution to otherwise unused space. And to the other side, the bathroom is hiding, the master bathroom. To just create a more expansive and modern approach, we have glass doors that are separating the bathroom from the rest of the living room. And as soon as we go in, you can see that it's absolutely gorgeous. I love the calm atmosphere that it has, and it is completely different to the rest of this loft or of this house. Here, the geometries are also very different. So the focal point is this gorgeous round freestanding bathtub that is elevated because it is standing on tiles. And then behind this niche we have the shower area as well as the bathtub. And over here we have the round symmetry repeated again. And that is that we have up here, we have this very high, gorgeous arch, and inside we have a black tinted mirror, and it just creates this almost oriental, very luxurious design. And the rest of the bathroom walls are clad entirely in this soft, rough terracotta color, and it just creates this absolute magical touch. And over here we have the powder room hiding that is kept in the same geometric language and colors as the primary bathroom. And now let me show you what is inside the first room. So behind me we have the second bedroom that can be used as a guest bedroom or an office. And over here we actually have a second gigantic, generous bathroom. You can see that the color palette is again much more rustical. And over here we are again reminded that we are in the countryside of Germany. The original brick wall of the hay shed has been exposed. And the focal point on this bathroom is this absolutely gorgeous sink that has been made from one slab of very fine terrazzo. And it is gigantic and it is very beautiful. And in the inside we even have these red and white tiles that just create this checkered pattern. And symmetrical to both sides of the sink, we have a toilet and a shower hiding. Now go subscribe right now, and if you like this video, you will love this one up here. See you next time.